Hi, Wendy Murdoch here with Callie King, and I want to show you how to tie an Equiband on so that you're safe, and that's really important because the band can really help with your riding, but we always want to make sure that it's secure and safe. What I've done is I've taken the band and folded it in half and put the writing in the center of the saddle, and then I'm going to take the end and twist the stirrup into correct position, so I have the leather twisted, and run the band between the stirrup. Okay, and then I'm going to make what's called a half hitch, like the first part of tying your shoelaces, just to snug it down on the stirrup. And from there I'm going to do a quick release knot. So I'm making a loop around my hand being the post, pull the loop through, and then I'm going to take the tail of the band and run it through that loop. So if you've ever done a quick release knot with your horse, you know that the second you run it through that loop, it's not going to come untied, but the other good news is it's not going to bind on itself and make it difficult to take apart. If I have any excess and it's enough, I can do a second quick release knot and run it through, or I can just do some half hitches. So now I have the band securely tied to the stirrup in position, band toward the horse, and then I simply take the band and put it over the cantle of the saddle after the rider has gotten on board. So you can see what it's done is pull the stirrup back, and that's how I position that stirrup underneath the rider. Here I've made it a bit too short and I'm really pulling it too far back. That's going to pitch the rider forward and be unpleasant. If it's too loose, I'm not going to stop the swing. So this is Goldilocks, this would be too loose, this would be too tight, and this would be just right. So you can adjust the position, just letting out a little bit more of the band. I'm going to undo the knots, and I'll do them one more time for you. It's always a good idea before every ride to check your band. If you've been out trail riding and there was a thorn that caught it, it could tear it, and then it would be weak and it could snap. If you leave it exposed to the sun, it's going to dry out. So it's just really good to check all of your equipment. I've noticed here, Callie, that this stirrup leather needs to be replaced because the stitching's kind of undone. And so it's a great time when you're looking at your band to just check the rest of your equipment and make sure it's safe. Okay, so I'm just going to make it a little bit longer. So if I think about putting it over the cantle, I wanted it about that length. Okay, I'm going to do my half hitch. And then make my quick release knot. So here's the loop on the quick release knot. Take the tail, run it through the loop, snug it up, and here I'm just going to do a second one because I have enough band. By putting the writing in the middle, you'll know you have enough on either side. So after you get on your horse, you have the band on the seat of the saddle when you get on. Then you take it and put it over the cantle. I just kind of even it out because that's going to put the stretch in it and bring the stirrup underneath your hip. Before you get off, you also want to take the band off the cantle to take the stretch out, so now the stirrup is able to move when you dismount.